Hello everyone, and welcome back to BuzzList. Today we're diving headfirst into a subject that's close to my heart, even though I might take the mickey out of it a bit: British politeness. Now, being British myself, I know that we're practically famous for it. We're like the world's most polite queue, always saying sorry and offering cups of tea. So, if you've ever wondered why we're so darn polite, you've come to the right place. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into it. Right, let's start from the beginning, shall we? British manners are practically spoon-fed to us from the moment we pop out. You know what I mean. We're talking hardcore please and thank you training. Before we can even say mummy, it's like you drop your dummy as a baby, and your mum's already saying, "Oh, would you like that back? Just say please, darling." And don't even get me started on the thank you wave. You know, the one where you're strapped into your pram like a little astronaut and your mum's making you wave at every passerby like you're the queen. It's intense, I tell you, but honestly, it works. Before you know it, you're a little politeness machine, saying TR to the postman and holding doors open for old ladies. It's ingrained in our DNA, I swear. I remember this one time my little nephew Dennis, he must have been 2 at the time, spilled his juice all over my brand new trainers, and you know what he did? He looked me dead in the eye and said, "Terribly sorry about that, Uncle James. 2 years old. It's just how we're wired, folks." Okay, let's be real. The British weather is about as predictable as my chances of winning an Oscar for this voiceover. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's sunny for 5 minutes, then back to cloudy again. It's a roller coaster, I tell you. But here's the thing, we Brits, we've turned talking about the weather into an art form. It's our national pastime, our way of breaking the ice without, actually having to say anything too interesting. You'll be stuck at the bus stop, complete stranger next to you, and bam! Bit nippy out today, innit? Conversation started. We're practically fluent in the language of drizzle and overcast skies. It's brilliant, really. It's a polite way to avoid awkward silences, controversial topics, and actually having to make real conversation. Brexit. Oh dear me. Look at those rain clouds gathering. Might need to fetch my brolly, see? Politeness through meteorology. Now, if there's one thing we Brits take more seriously than tea, it's the queue. Yes, the queue. That magical line of people where everyone knows their place and no one, I repeat, no one dares to cut. It's like our version of the law of the land, more sacred than the crown jewels. You could be waiting for a bus, a concert ticket, or even just the last croissant at the bakery. There's a queue, and you best believe we're joining it with the utmost respect. I remember once I was at the supermarket, just minding my own business in the express lane, because, celebrity. And this bloke, he just waltzes in with a trolley full of groceries. Can you believe the audacity? The whole queue erupted in a chorus of tut-tuts and disapproving coughs. It was beautiful. The poor bloke didn't know what hit him. He scurried back to the end of the queue faster than you could say bangers and mash. It's just not the done thing, We queue, therefore we are polite. All right, let's talk about the S word. No, not that one. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about sorry. We Brits, we apologise for everything, and I mean everything. You bump into someone, sorry. Someone bumps into you, sorry. You sneeze, spill your tea, or accidentally make eye contact on the tube, sorry, sorry, sorry. It's like our national catchphrase, our verbal safety net. We could probably win a gold medal in the apologetic Olympics if there was such a thing. I'm pretty sure I've apologised to inanimate objects before. Stubbed my toe on the table leg. Sorry, table, didn't see you there. The best part is, we don't even have to actually be at fault to apologise. It's more about acknowledging the inconvenience, even if that inconvenience is entirely self-inflicted. It's just good manners, innit? Right, let's talk about the nation's favourite beverage, the one, the only tea. Now, tea in Britain isn't just a drink, it's a symbol of comfort, a social lubricant, and a darn good excuse to put the kettle on. And you better believe there's a whole lot of politeness swirling around in that lovely cuppa. Firstly, offering tea is practically mandatory in any social situation. Friend pops over, tea? Plumber's fixing your sink? Tea just survived an alien invasion? Bloody right, put the kettle on, we need tea. And don't even think about refusing a cuppa when offered. It's considered downright rude. You'll get a suspicious look and a suit yourself, but trust me, you've just committed a social faux pas of epic proportions. But it's not just about the offering, it's about the whole ritual. The milk first or water first debate, the careful stirring, the polite slurping. Never ever slurp loudly, that's just barbaric. It's all part of the dance of British politeness. Now, you've probably heard of the stiff upper lip, that very British trait of stoicism and emotional reserve. Well, guess what? It plays a big role in our politeness too. You see, Brits, we're not big on public displays of, well, anything really. We keep calm, we carry on, and we certainly don't want to cause a scene. So instead of shouting our heads off or throwing a tantrum when things go pear-shaped, we slap on a smile, mutter a polite "dear me" and get on with it. I mean, imagine this. You're at a fancy restaurant and the waiter accidentally spills a whole tray of food on you. Do you scream, shout and demand to speak to the manager? No, mate, you brush yourself off, say, "Oh dear, no worries, these things happen," and then probably apologise to the waiter for getting in the way. That's the stiff upper lip in action. It might seem a bit bizarre to our more expressive friends around the world, but hey, it works for us. Keeps things civil, doesn't it? All right, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the crumpet in the tea cosy. Because, yes, even when we're throwing shade, us Brits, we like to keep it polite. We're masters of the subtle dig, the backhanded compliment, the insult so well disguised as a pleasantry you're not even sure if you should be offended or flattered. For example, imagine someone shows up to a party in a, shall we say, interesting outfit. A true Brit wouldn't say, "Oh my God, what are you wearing?" No, that's far too crass. Instead, we'd say something like, "Oh, that's a bold choice." You certainly don't shy away from making a statement, do you see? Insult delivered, but wrapped in a perfectly polite package. It's all about subtlety, innuendo, and a healthy dose of good humour. We might be ripping you to shreds with our words, but we'll do it with a smile and a bless your heart. It's just how we roll. Now, let's be honest, no one does politeness quite like the royals, do they? I mean, they've been setting the standard for regal decorum for centuries. They're like the ultimate etiquette role models, with their polite smiles, perfect posture, and ability to make small talk with ambassadors while simultaneously eating a tiny canapé without getting lipstick on the rim. It's a skill, I tell you, and you better believe their influence trickles down to us common folk. We might not have to curtsy to our breakfast cereal or anything, but there's a certain pressure to be on our best behaviour, even if it's just while sipping our tea and watching the Queen's or King's speech on Christmas Day. Plus, let's not forget the power of a good royal wave. You know, the one, the elegant hand wiggle that says, "Hello, I acknowledge your existence, but please don't get any closer." It's iconic. We try to emulate it, but let's be real, no one does it quite like them. All right, let's talk about our secret weapon, the thing that helps us navigate awkward situations, diffuse tension, and maintain a veneer of politeness, even when we're internally screaming, our sense of humour. Yes, us Brits, we love a good laugh, even if it's at our own expense. We use humour to bond, to break the ice, and to avoid saying what we really mean. It's like our national defence mechanism. Someone spills a drink on us, crack a joke about needing a change of clothes anyway. Weather's miserable. Time to make fun of the sunshine's inability to hold down a job. Stuck in a traffic jam. Well, that's just an excellent opportunity to practice our stand-up routine about the joys of motorway driving. It might seem self-deprecating, sarcastic, or even a bit dry at times, but trust me, it comes from a good place. It's our way of saying, hey, life's a bit mad, innit? Let's have a chuckle about it. All right, last but not least, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Because, believe it or not, British politeness, it's got history. Centuries of it, in fact. From the days of knights and chivalry to the Victorian era's obsession with etiquette, we've been schooled in the art of good manners for generations. It's all about respect, decorum, and not airing your dirty laundry in public. Of course, back in the day, things were a bit more, shall we say, formal. We're talking about bowing, curtsying, and never addressing someone by their first name, unless you were like best mates with their pet parrot. Thankfully, things have relaxed a bit since then. We've swapped our powdered wigs for baseball caps, and we're no longer expected to duel to the death over a spilled cup of tea. But the core values of politeness, they've stuck around. So, there you have it, my friends. A whirlwind tour of British politeness. From our love of cues to our mastery of the polite insult, we've covered it all. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for more hilarious insights into this crazy thing we call life. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments your favourite British mannerism or the funniest polite encounter you've had. Have you ever experienced the wrath of a queue jumper? Or been offered tea by someone who just witnessed a meteor shower? Let's have a good chuckle together in the comments section. Until next time, cheers.